Sampling of air pollutants. Sampling and measurement of air pollutants is known as air quality monitoring, and it is an integral component of any air pollution control program. Through monitoring, the trends in air quality can be evaluated by comparing the data with the standards. The information obtained is helpful in implementing control measures for reducing pollutant concentrations to acceptable levels. It is also helpful in assessing the effect of air pollution control strategies. Sampling procedures are developed on the basis of the pollutant being sampled, the collection technique, and the device being employed, the sensitivity, specificity, and selectivity of the analytical method being used. Air quality measurement is undertaken in two different situations. The first situation is the ambient air quality measurement, where the pollutant levels in the ambient atmosphere are measured. The second type of measurement deals with the pollutants emitted from a source such as smokestack, and it is therefore known as stack sampling. Stack sampling provides information on the nature and quantities of various pollutants that are emitted into the atmosphere. The most important objective of any air sampling exercise is to obtain a genuine and representative sample. In order to obtain a good sample, relevant factors are carefully considered. The size of the sample required, that is, the total volume of the air sample, which decreases with increasing concentration of pollutant and increasing sensitivity of the analytical method. In general, a sample of about 10 cubic meters is required. The sampling rate varies from 0.003 cubic meter per minute to 3 cubic meter per minute depending on the equipment used. The optimum sampling time for a representative sample is 3 hours. In some cases, the pollutants collected by normal air sampling methods are reactive, and therefore this results in changes after collection. Special measures are therefore necessary to minimize such changes. For example, a reducing agent such as isopropanol is used as a medium for collecting sulfur dioxide. It inhibits the formation of sulfur trioxide. A typical air sampling system consists of a sample collector, a flow meter to measure the airflow through the collector, and a pump to draw the air sample through the system. The flow meter can be positioned either upstream or downstream from the sample collector. The function of the sample collector is to retain the desired pollutant either alone or as a mixture. Sampling of gases and vapors. There are several methods available for the collection of gaseous air pollutants from the atmosphere. The common methods used are grab sampling, absorption, adsorption, and freeze out sampling. In grab sampling, the sample is collected by filling an evacuated flask. Plastic bags are also used for grab sampling. Grab samples may be taken using rigid walls containers made from glass or steel. These containers are first evacuated and then filled by allowing air to enter. Alternatively, a container may be filled with water and then used as a collector simply by draining away the water, which is replaced by air sample. The second method which is used is the absorption in liquids. Absorption separates the desired pollutant from air either through direct solubility in absorbing medium or by chemical reaction. The reactive pollutants are absorbed in aqueous solution. For example, sulfur dioxide is absorbed in water or hydrogen peroxide. Ozone is absorbed in a solution of potassium iodide, nitrogen dioxide in sodium hydroxide because its absorption in water is very small. Carbon monoxide can be absorbed in the solution of ammonical cuprous chloride. Oxygen is absorbed in the solution of alkaline pyrogallol. Carbon dioxide is absorbed in alcoholic solution of potassium hydroxides. Oils are used for collecting hydrocarbons. The another important method used for sampling of gases and vapors is adsorption on solids. In this method, the gas is adsorbed on solid material at reduced temperature and it is then evacuated with an inert gas like nitrogen or argon at elevated temperatures. Adsorbents include activated charcoal, activated carbon or alumina, silica gel, diatomaceous molecular sieves which are made from sodium or calcium zeolites. The amount of the pollutant adsorbed is proportional to the surface area of the adsorbent, the physico-chemical characteristics of the adsorbent, temperature and pressure maintained in the sampling device. After adsorption, the sample gases are desorbed for analysis. This is accomplished by heating the adsorbent to volatilize the trapped material or by washing it with a liquid solvent. Organic vapors are analyzed by gas chromatography, which directly uses the adsorption principle. Cold trapping, also known as condensation or freeze out sampling, is another method in which a series of cold traps are maintained at progressively lower temperatures and they are used to draw the air sample where pollutants are condensed. Fractionation is achieved by maintaining the first collector in an ice bath at 0 degrees centigrade and the last in a liquid nitrogen bath at minus 196 degrees centigrade. The samples are then analyzed by means of gas chromatography, infrared or ultraviolet spectrophotometry, mass spectrometry. Coolants used for traps are ice water, ice salt at minus 21 degrees centigrade, dry ice and acetone at minus 79 degrees centigrade, liquid air at minus 147 degrees centigrade and liquid oxygen at minus 183 degrees centigrade. The method is useful for trapping a large number of pollutants. However, it is inconvenient to assemble the freeze out traps. Also, there is the problem of accumulation of ice resulting from condensation of water vapor, which leads to plugging of the system. So, the technique is not generally used for routine sampling purposes.